Buddha.
No way, Jose.
Respect, respect, respect. Respect to Shawanda Williams. Respect to Pretty Brown Eyes. How have you been? Respect. We building over here. We're going to talk about something we should be talking about on YouTube, right? Abortion. Okay. Well, you for it or against it, right? You pro-life or whatever. But here, this what we going to do right here. North Carolina Democrat governor vetoed abortion ban, which is going to set up a likely override vote by majority of the representatives, which is read by the Republican. This is what happens when a woman. I'm gonna go ahead and tell you, a Texas woman, shot and killed by her boyfriend over an abortion. Police say, okay. A man is suspected of shooting and killing his girlfriend after she reportedly went to another state for an abortion, Dallas police say. Also were called to a parking lot Wednesday after Gabriel Gonzalez, 26, was killed, according to a Dallas County arrest warrant. Surveillance video show Harold Lovers Thompson walking with her just before the shooting. He tried to put Gonzalez in a chokehold, but she got away, police say. Thompson then pulled out a gun and shot Gonzalez in the head, said the warrant. He fired several more shots into her as she was on the ground before running away. According to the court document, multiple witnesses, including Gonzalez's sister, told police they saw Thompson try to strangler, strangler the woman before they heard the gunshot. The two were in a dating relationship. The one said they, there was an active family violence regulation warrant for a March incident in which Gonzalez was a victim. Court documents say. See, that's the problem right there. She had an active family violence regulation warrant put out on him, and the police didn't do anything to him. He's supposed to be locked up. He's supposed to have been put away. And if that would have happened, she wouldn't be dead right now, right? Further investigation revealed that Gonzalez went to Colorado to get an abortion and returned the night before. It is believed that the suspect was the father of the child. See, that's the problem. See, she didn't want no child. She didn't want to be have no connection to that guy. That's why she went and got that abortion. That's why she went and got that abortion because she didn't want to be uh, attached to that guy for so many years. Didn't want no part of him. Didn't want to deal with him. But he couldn't deal with the fact that she went to another state to get an abortion. That she didn't want to be with him. So he tried to strangle her. Then he shot her in the head. What sense do that make? Now there's a family without a sister, without an aunt, without a daughter, without a granddaughter, without a niece. That though that now you are stuck. Now he is stuck in jail. He should be put under the goddamn jail because the intention was to kill her. The intention was to kill her. Respect intel. Wow, respect. Further investigation revealed that Gonzalez went to. Yeah, well, I read that. It is believed that the suspect was the father of the child. The suspect did not want the complainant to get any an abortion, said the warrant. Thompson was arrested after the execution of the search warrant and declined to give a statement. Said court document Thompson is charged with murder and assault on a family household member impeding breath or circulation. That is kind of jail records show. She didn't want to be with him. If nobody want to be with you, go about your way. Don't worry about what they doing, how they doing. Just just leave them alone. Ain't the reason to get upset. She didn't want to be with him. Then, for the record, if you don't want to have a baby by somebody that you're not with, that you don't like, that you do not have no don't want no ties to, don't lay down with that person. Don't lay down with them. That's the best thing to do. Thompson was denied bond during his first appearance before a judge Thursday was to be appointed a public defender. Court records show. Gonzalez had three children for a previous relationship. The police report say. Now there are three children without a mother. There are three children without a mother. There are three children without a mother. I'm pinning the link up just in case somebody want to come up. There's three children without a mother now. So that right there in itself is I don't care you for or against. You do not go shoot nobody, kill them just because they don't want to be with you. Because they don't want to have no part to deal with you. You can't deal with it, don't get in a relationship. Be by yourself. And sometimes it's better to be by yourself than with somebody because you won't get hurt. That is sad. That is sad beyond recognition. That is sad beyond recognition. So, what do y'all think about abortion? Should it be banned? Should it be banned? Then I got another story here, which is really is sad in itself. He lost his son to suicide after a sex exploitation scam. Now this lawmaker is fighting to save other teens. Here we go. Gavin Guthrie sent a message to his younger brother and friends in the pre-dawn hours of July 27th last year. It was short and cryptic. a heart-shaped symbol of love. Minutes later, in a halfway, okay, here we go. Minutes later, in a hallway bathroom, a few steps from his room, the 17-year-old fatally shot himself. His father, Brandon Griffith, said he was at their home in Rock Hill, South Carolina, when he heard a loud thump. It sounded like someone had slammed a bowling ball into the floor. He rushed to the bathroom and found his oldest son bleeding on the floor between the tub and the toilet. For weeks, the grieving family searched for signs of anything they missed. Then they found out that scammers, masquerading as a young woman, had sent Gavin nude photos and asked him for similar images of himself. Once Gavin shared photos with them, they blackmailed him with a threat to publicize publicize them if he didn't pay. That is horrible. That is outrageous. That is crazy. Ladies, gentlemen, do not send no nude picture of yourself to anybody, not even your significant others, not even if you're married, because that person you might want to get divorced. They still got them pictures. Guess what? They might be mad at you and start publishing them on the internet. You ever had unwittingly become a victim of sexual exploitation or sex exploitation? The crime the FBI warns is increasingly targeting underage boys. Sex exploitation cases have gone up in the past year. Federal officials said in a recent safety alert issue in a partnership with National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. The cases are contributing to an alarming number of suicides nationwide, the alert said. At the time of his son, Gafford 43 was running for state House representative. 6 months later, after a winning campaign, he assumed office. His first order of business was to introduce a state bill to criminalize the type of scale that led to his son's death. His fellow House lawmen unanimously passed the bill last month. State senator passed the legislation Thursday, naming it the Gafford Law, as a tearful Gafford watch from the Senate chamber. Unallowed scammer who exploit a minor or an at-risk adult will face up to 5 years in prison for a first offense. You're right. You're supposed to say hell no, pretty brown eyes. You're supposed to say hell no, right? For weeks, the family tried to unravel the mystery surrounding his death. Gav- Gaffrey and his wife Melissa had spent months trying to untangle the mystery surrounding their son's death. In the weeks after the funeral, the scammers barraged Gaffrey and his younger son 16 with Instagram messages demanding money in exchange for the new photo. One message sent to Gavin's Instagram inbox on August 20, the day Gavin would have turned 18, outraged him. It said, "Did I tell you your son begged for his life?" With a laughing face emoji. These are some sick, deranged people out here. They are sick and deranged. This world has went beyond insane out here. It said with the left hand, law enforcement official told him not to respond, but he says it to every ounce of strength he had to ignore it. He believed the scammer went through Gavin's friend list on social media and sent messages to everyone with a similar last name, including Gavin's nephew. His family didn't have access to Gavin's computer and iPad. The rest took them as part of the probe into his death. Gavin said he started piecing together his son's final days using messages from scammers and information shared by investigators. He discovered that the scammer used a vanish mode feature that delete messages as soon as the recipient exits the chat. They use this disappearing messages so the kids feel safe in the technology. What they don't realize is someone has another device recording that device. He said Gavin had used Venmo to send scammers $25, all the money he had in his account, and pleaded for more time. He was telling them he would get them more money. Please don't send the images out. They didn't care, Gavin said. I think in his mind it was just too much and he didn't know how he would overcome that. See, that's why we got to have open dialogue between our kids and our children. Cause stuff like this got to have open dialogue. If we don't have open dialogue between parents and children, this could happen. Open dialogue is the big thing for a household. Got to learn how to communicate. In an email to CNN, an FBI spokesperson in Columbia, South Carolina said no arrests have been made in the case. It declined to provide additional information citing an ongoing investigation. Respect, Nicole Bella. Respect, respect. Sexploitation targets thousands of teens every year, the FBI say. Sexploitation scams happen primarily online. In 2022, law enforcement agencies received over 7,000 reports related to online sexploitation, amount of federal officials say. Nearly half of those resulted in victims. And majority of them boys, over a dozen of the sexploitation victims died by suicide. Suicide is real. It messes with your mental health. And that's what is wrong, because mental health is real. See, if we don't get control of our kids, we're gonna be worried about what they doing online. That's why you gotta monitor who they talking to online. Gotta monitor who they talking to online. See, here's what they say right here. Predators typically trick their young male victims into believing they are talking to girls their own age, sway them to send exploited photos and videos, and threaten to release those images if a payment is not sent. Young people are more impulsive because they don't weigh risk and consequences the same way adults do, said Dr. Kev. But some adults get tricked too. But it's one respect, respect, respect. Their judgment and decision making ability are underdeveloped because the prefrontal cortex, the brain executive control center, is not fully developed until the mid 20s, doctor said. This crime starts when young people believe they are communicating with someone their own age who is interested in a relationship. The FBI said the shame, fear, and confusion children feel when they are caught in this cycle are to prevent them from asking for help or reporting their abuse. Just think about when you were a child, when you did something and you knew it wasn't your fault or it was your fault. How many of you actually went and told your parents what happened, what's going on? On this website, FBI reminds teens that scammers prey on their fear. It urged them to report sex exploitation because they are not the ones committing a crime. See, they always, it sometimes it's not always the child's fault. It's not the child's fault when this happens. Sex exploitation scams have increasingly made headlines nationwide, but law enforcement is fighting back. Mark Tarter, a U.S. attorney for the Western District of Michigan, announced this month that three men will be extradited from Nigeria for allegedly exploiting teenage boys. One of the men will be charged with causing the death of George de May 17, who died by suicide in March 2022 as a result of sexual exploitation. And in December, police in Los Angeles arrested a suspect in the case of 17-year-old Ryan Last, who killed himself in February 2022 in San Jose, California, hours after being victimized by a similar exploitation scam. Yeah, the scam could be ran by anybody. They could be in the United States. They could be for another country. But you got to be for sure who you're talking to. Gavin knows all too well the emotional toll sexual stage takes on family. Nearly a year later, he's still struggling with what happened to his home at his home that morning. He recalls cradling his son, thinking he'll fall and hit his head while in the bathroom. He remembered catching a glimpse of his pistol on the floor and smelling the gunpowder. He said he'll never forget his pain and confusion when he realized his son had died by suicide. He said he was a basket case. He didn't know what to do, he says. His initial thought was, this is his fault. He left the gun out. The day he died, a package addressed to him arrived in the mail. Gavin had ordered a flag with a face of rapper Ye, formerly known as Kanye West, against a backdrop of black and gold color. It had the words. It had the word "Don't Trend" on Ye on it. See, this is a sad story right here, but it's a true story. Sexploitation is a crime. Nobody really thinking. How many of us as parents, as adults, pay attention to what teens does online? What do we do when we online? Do we pay attention to who we talking to online by email, no matter what? It is crazy. It is crazy. I'm telling you, this this should never happen. This should never happen. This should never happen under any kind of circumstance. This should never happen in any kind of way to anybody. That should happen to anybody. That should happen to nobody. Respect Kenyon 28. That shouldn't happen to nobody. Nobody, kids, no adults, no women, no men, no boys, no girls. You should have to be scared of that. But people who got kids, pay attention, mother today, who they talking to on social media. Sit down and talk to your kids. And here's another one. A South Florida jury, South, a South Florida jury returned a split verdict in a civil lawsuit filed against McDonald's and one of its franchisees. They alleged dangerously hot chicken nugget for a Happy Meal burned a toddler. Nuggets for a Happy Meal burned a toddler. The jury on Thursday found that McDonald's and franchise owner Upchurch Food liable for failing to properly warn or provide reasonable instruction on the possible harm from a hot McNuggets dispensed at a Chomac, Florida drive-through, the news station reported. Hell, only unchecked food was found to be negligent. Jurors also found there was no inherent defect in putting nuggets on the market and no breach or implied warranty. The suit was filed in 2019 against McDonald's and Unchurched Food. The Fort Lauderdale jury said both were at some fault for the burns sustained by daughter when the I can't pronounce their name when the hot nugget fell onto her lap. The complaint said Holmes bought and paid for the Happy Meal from the drive-through and then drove away. The nugget fell and became lodged between her 4-year-old daughter's leg and car seat. The law firm representing the plaintiff said the chicken nugget inside of that Happy Meal was unreasonably and dangerously hot in terms of temperature and caused her skin and flesh around her thighs to burn, the plaintiff alleged, leaving her disfigured and scarred. The plaintiff said that the franchise should have known the nugget were unfit for human handling, had a duty not to sell them, and it should have accurately trained and supervised its employees. The law firm represented plaintiff Fisher. The case would go to a second trial to determine the damages owed to our client. The case echoes the infamous McDonald hot coffee lawsuit on the night in which a woman spilled coffee on her lip and suffered third-degree burn, and jury agreed with her. I'm kind of I'm kind of torn between this right here. I kind of am torn between this right here. One, you know, as a parent, it got a possibility. You know, there's a possibility that the nugget that you're going to get is going to be hot when you get it. And two, and you letting the 4 year, yeah, I know, understand they hungry, and you let them eat in the car, and she drops it. Understandable, but she knew. I feel for the little girl for getting burned, but is it also the mother's responsibility to? They are suing Pretty Brown Eyes. Is it is it also the mother's responsibility to see if the food is too hot for her 4 year old to handle? Why did she give her the bag for the food? It's just like that woman that sued her for the hot coffee. Respect April Shower. Why, if you got some coffee from Starbucks, McDonald's, any of your eatery that you like to get coffee from, are you gonna stick that coffee between your legs? No, you got a cup holder in your car. How is that McDonald's fault that she burned herself because the woman was not, and on side or and I worked at McDonald's, and it says on side of the cup, caution, contents in this may be hot. You're right. You're right, pretty about it. Common sense. People will sue for anything these days. See, and said supervise the employees, right? But the thing is, if she would have got a cold nugget, she'd be just hollering about she want some hot nugget for her 4 year old, right? And how many 4 year olds say, "Oh, this is hot. This is hot." That's what everybody want to sue for. I tell you, I'm gonna give you a story. I'll give you a story. Okay, this lady came came where I'm working at right now, and it had been raining. The sun had came out. She came in and got her food, and she walked right back out. And then she came back in, talking about she slipped. And what she slipped at, it was dry as a bone. But she had on some slide, like some sandals, like some flip flops, right? But unknown to her, associate had seen her, and she did not fall, right? And people was try to sue for anything, so you got to be careful. You got to be in the right. And anybody in their right mind, I'm not going to sit no hot cup of coffee between my legs. I'm not going to Get my child who's 4 years old, and I would check the food before I give it to him to make sure it's not hot, right? See, I know me, I know my mom. We didn't eat in no car. For one, that nugget couldn't have been that hot. It could have been. It could have been hot. Probably been fresh out of the grease. But thing is, they pour it off into something, off in a basket, and sit there under the warmer to keep them warm and hot, and they put them in a box. You know, when you go to a place like that, something going to be have to be hot, fresh out the grill, fresh out the presses. So why would you not use your common sense to say, "Hey, wait till we get home. Wait till they cool off." Maybe the little girl will say, "Hey, I want my nuggets now." Maybe she was hungry, but I'm not faulting the mother. I'm not put all complaint on the mother. But yes, I am putting a complaint on the mother because she has had her responsibility too, just like McDonald's did, like all food chains, like all restaurant do. They have obligation too. But as parents, as adults, we got obligation too to do the right thing. Instead of try to go sue somebody. Why you want to go sue somebody? Just so you get some money? Just to get some money? Just so you can find something else. It's not gonna go. You're right. And here's another sad story right here. Here's another sad story. A woman ran into a couple who just had got married. They were riding in a golf cart with two other people, and a drunk driver hit them. The bride died, and the man, he survived, but had some kind of brain injury. But he's out of the hospital now. He got to plan his wife's funeral. It was a happy day. It was a happy day at that time and a sad day at the same time. And the woman said that somebody hit her, but she hit somebody. This is this is sad right here. You went from being happy to sad to have to bury your wife that you just married, that you were looking for a future with, cause of a drunk driver who had the alcohol level 3 times the legal limit. That is hard. That is that has been known to us. We people, we gotta do better as a human race. Cause you have a shot of this, have a shot of that. You said you only have a shot at a beer. That's not don't make you drunk driving. That don't make you do that. One, you know you're gonna be drinking. You gotta have another source to get to the house. You gotta have another source to drive. We are in a society that we had to feel for ourselves. We gotta use our own common sense. We gotta use our own knowledge. That's why I keep saying you gotta respect yourself. You got to love yourself because people out here is not going to love and respect you. Because you love you, respect yourself, then you got some people behind you that back you and say, I love you. And they show that they show you that they love you. That gives you confidence. We got to have confidence in everything we do. Look at all the tragedies around us. And I got another story I told last night that in Jamaica, this guy found this baby in a shopping bag hanging on a fence, covered in ants. The baby was just not born. The umbilical cord was still there. The afterbirth was still there. Took her to the hospital, and he had he had two boys. He had two sons, but he can't visit that little girl, which he called Sunshine, because he's not the biological parent of that child. But he want to adopt that little girl, and so do people in his town want to adopt that child. That's what we need: humanity in our. We need humanity back. We need humanity back. So when we get when we have our human emotion, our humanity back, that tells us that we are human. Some of us not human. Some of us wouldn't give a damn. Some of us wouldn't did nothing with that child. Some of us would just left the child hanging there and walked on by. But this man found it in the heart to take this child to the hospital, get the child, this little girl they call Sunshine, taken care of. They want to put this child in foster care or put this child up for adoption. He wanted to be the first in line to adopt this child. What would you do in that situation? It's an open panel. Abortion. A man kills his girlfriend. She already had 3 kids, but he didn't. She didn't want that to do with it. So she went to Colorado, had the abortion, and he killed her for it. Now children without their mother. A, a 17-year-old commits suicide because he get sex exploitation because he said somebody new, which he thought was a female. This stuff goes on and on and on. Why do we do that? Why do we have so many problems? Why do this world have so many problems? Because everybody greedy. Everybody want the things that they want, and they want it now. They don't want to work for it. They don't want to wait for it. We are impatient. We are impatient human beings. We are very impatient. We got to do what we got to do sometimes. We got to have our own back. See, I'm speaking for the truth. I'm speaking real stuff here. This is what we doing. Can we move forward? We got to monitor our kids. We got to monitor our kids. We got to monitor ourselves. There is one pretty bad house. You know I don't speak nothing but the truth in front of the heart. If we monitor our kids, sit down and talk to them, monitor their online activity, they will come tell us what's going on in their life. Then the father want to blame himself for him having that gun, that his son got the hold of the gun. Yes, you got to put the gun up, put it in the safe somewhere. We got to take evaluation of the mental health that's going on. Mental health is real. Jordan Neely up in New York got choked out by the ex-marine. He wasn't no bother nobody. He was just want food. He just want food. But they allowed the man to turn himself in almost a week later on a charge with manslaughter. How is that? How could you just how can you justify just charging with manslaughter when it was, which is murder? When people try to help, the three people, even Penny who had him in the chokehold, kept them away from kept them away from Neely, try to help him. And you know the sad part about this story is that his mother died by the hands of another person, her boyfriend, which he left money to the den teenager and food, but it ran out. They had he was 14. Just think about it. He was 14 then. He was 14. Think what kind of toll that took on him. Mental toll. Illness is real. I don't care how old you are. You could be 60. You could be 14. You could be 11. Then the school resource called for a whole bunch of police officers to come to school for the black 9-year-old autistic, special needs 9-year-old black boy. Handcuffed him to the pole. Then took him to the hospital, which after that, they didn't call his mother right away. So we got to get our act together, people. Our community is under attack by us and other entities that's out there. We got to get our act together. When we're going to learn that we are in this fight as one. But as long as we fight against each other, we cannot advance. We got to send out love. We got to send out respect to each other. But until we start that crab in the barrel mentality, we cannot. You cannot. How can we? Can anybody tell how can we control? The thing is, control what you can control. Things you cannot control, it don't have to be. But we got to sit down and let's talk. Let's talk to each other. That's all we got to do. Pretty Brown Eyes. I had not forgot. I'm trying to find the right song for us, and I will send it to you to your email. And April Showers. I hope you got my email that I sent to you. Okay. I almost got the song that we should do. We should do. And guess what? Ain't nothing we can. There is nothing we can't do together. Like I said before, separated Our fingers help us do different things. Separated, they don't hardly do nothing. But together, it balls up to a mighty fist that can punch anything that it wants to. That we got to become like a mighty fist. I want to send out my respect to 20th Nation, the Nile River. I'm on the Black TV. April Showers, Pretty Brown Eyes, Realest One, Nate the Great, Nate the Great, let's see, and E. James, Wax AP, Black to the P, Mac Me, Cuba, Diamond Shit, Shakira, Chill Wheel, Wax Dog, Miss True, 20 Christmas, L, Jerry Spears, Alpha Buckeye, Thug Life Manny, Jennifer Valdez, Malaysia, The Light TV, Pal M, a whole host of other people. Shout out to y'all and respect. I'm gonna try to come on tonight. Yes, it is. It is true. Those some prayers head up for his family. Those some hands up. Those some prayers head up and send some blessing to his family. It is true, cause it, we do not know when our time is coming. We don't know when the time. We don't know when our time is coming. That was a He had some knowledge and still has some knowledge, but it's sad that we got to come together. Respect to the words, Cops Tyler Bay, Monique Hill, Keyway LA, all my Cali folks out there. Y'all be safe out there. Y'all be safe where y'all at too. Pretty Brown Eyes, I haven't forgot about the song that the duet we have to do. All right. I haven't forgot about it. Yeah. Hey, respect to you be safe out there, Kelly. Okay. Because I know it is. I know how it is out there. Well, I don't know how it is, but be safe. Be safe out there. And like I said, you still down. Yes, I do it. We did say that. You don't want me to go back and get that video that you was here when we said we're gonna do a duet. And I sent you an email. And I got thinking this. I got thinking the song, and I got thinking when. Yes, a duet, Pretty Brown Eyes. And you should have. See, we kind of stuck our foot in our mouth. Yes, you did. And I got the. Don't forget, I got the video still up where we said it too. Got it still up. But how power? Yeah, you did. We're gonna get together, and did I send you? I did send you my phone number, didn't I? In the email. Well, if I did, I'm gonna send it to you. Okay, I'm sending you my phone number in the email, so we can at least get some kind of rehearsal together, some kind of thing, something together, so we can both practice together and get it right. Well, it don't have to be perfect, so we get some kind of semblance of right. But we are people of many talents, but we got to start using our talents. We got to start using our brain. And I love each and every last one of y'all. Without the support, we wouldn't be here. And like I said, let's send prayers out to El Couple family, love and respect to his family, because love and respect, that's all we have. Like I said, we got to respect yourself and love yourself, because some people out there do not respect themselves or love themselves, or they don't respect and love themselves at the same time. And we got to and we got to. There's more of us out here that want to do good and gonna do good than people that gonna do evil. So pretty brown eyes. When I get off here, I will see you before no, so we can get together, see what kind of song, what song you want to do. If you got any ideas, to the rest of you, peace be with you, and I will try to get back on later. I love each and every one of y'all. Love yourself and respect yourself, and keep your mind in check. Peace, love, and happiness to everybody. We are who we are, and let's do what we got to do.